We're here at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we love this place so much that we just couldn't keep it to ourselves. So today, we're doing a resort tour for you. I'm Tim.
I'm Katie.
And we do things like this. So first of all, there are actually two lodges on Animal Kingdom Resort property. The first is Jambo House, where we are staying and where we are going to be leading the tour for you today. The second is Kidani Village, which is actually primarily a Disney Vacation Club resort with primarily Disney Vacation Club member rooms. You could probably walk to Kidani Village if you wanted to attend Sanaa for dinner or check out the gift shop over there, but it's actually far enough away that Disney offers a complimentary shuttle between the two resorts. There is tons of self-parking capacity here at Jambo House. It does cost $25 per night to park your car overnight if you brought a car, or $33 per night if you want a valet park. However, because this is a Disney Vacation Club resort with DVC member rooms in it, if you're a DVC member, you can actually park for free. So this is your main pickup and drop-off area for Uber, Lyft, or if you're just a friend dropping off another friend at the front of the resort. Sadly, the Magical Express is now a thing of the past, but if you've chartered a bus or you're using Mears Connect to get back to the airport, there's a dedicated bus lane right here in front for specifically that purpose. If you continue walking the outer perimeter of Jambo House from the main entrance, you will eventually find your way to the resort buses that take you back and forth between Disney Springs, the parks, and Animal Kingdom Lodge. Downtown Disney? What are we, in California?
Or 2010.
Time travel. All right, let's ditch these shades and head inside. Jambo House offers you by far one of the most beautiful lobbies on all of Disney property, but it's not just pretty, it's also culturally significant.
Every article displayed in one of these glass cases in the lobby is genuine art from different tribes or peoples in Africa, representing different countries.
Concierge is fully staffed in the main lobby, but mobile check-in is the way of the future. So unless you need something to enhance the comfort of your stay, you can probably go without speaking to anyone at Concierge for your entire visit. If you're at all interested in the Disney Vacation Club program where you can use points to stay at a resort like this, there's also a DVC member desk right behind me where someone will actually sit and talk with you, do an initial consultation, or help you book with points if you're already a member. Jambo House is huge, and there are 6 floors of rooms sprawling out in 4 different directions. To make it a little bit easier for resort guests checking in to find their room, they've organized these 4 different directions into trailheads. Whichever trailhead you're assigned to will tell you which side of the resort you're on. In the corner nearest the Canoe Trail is where you'll find an ATM and a mail slot. And look how cute this mail slot is. You have to feed the hippo your letters.
Near each one of these trailheads is a nice overlook, so you can go out and take a look at the Savannah and see who's here to say hello.
Jambo House is also home to our all-time favorite resort gift shop, Zawadi Marketplace. Of course, they have the standard fare Disney merch that you can buy in any gift shop, as well as the essentials like sunscreen, ibuprofen, and snacks. But name me one other Disney resort where you can buy a wooden carving of a king cobra.
You can also buy alcohol here. It's also one of the larger gift shops that we've seen, so you can fit several dozen people in here without it feeling cramped at all.
And for a mere $550, you can have yourself a custom portrait of the Animal Kingdom Lodge to remember your time here fondly. I think this vlog will do well enough for me. Down the stairs, down the stairs, down the stairs, down the stairs, and into the out we go. First thing you're likely to see when you walk out into this big open back area is the giant fireplace. Nothing really special or unique about this, it's just kind of a nice community gathering spot. Next thing you're likely to see is the Savannah itself and your observation areas that allow you to view the Savannah. Luckily, they give you these signs so that you can tell what you're looking at without having to go on Google and research it for yourself.
Who's over there? Wildebeest are in the back.
Again, guys, the Savannah runs the length of the entire property. It's one of the best things about staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge is being able to kind of roam freely and see these animals that would otherwise be wild and unreachable up close and personal. It's a lot like being on Kilimanjaro safaris, but like in perpetuity, and sleeping there. This is a wild animal so close I could touch it. Hey, bud. Oh, 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 oh no, come back, come back. If you head down the staircase nearest the elevators, you'll start finding your way to some of your food options at this sprawling resort. Starting with Victoria Falls Lounge, which keeps largely evening hours, and then a little bit further down the same staircase, Boma and Jiko. Boma is open for both breakfast and dinner right now. Jiko, as of February 2022, is exclusively dinner for the time being. Just outside Jiko and Boma, you will find some amazing water features, as well as a playground, access to the fitness center, and of course, the pool. There's a hot tub tucked in behind the water slide as well, but unfortunately, during our stay, it was closed. As far as the Zahanati Spa and Fitness Center is concerned, the exercise area is compact, but more than sufficient for those craving a good workout. We have free weights, we have cardio, and of great significance, we have a freshly reopened spa with massage therapists at the ready. Note that advanced reservations for spa treatments are strongly encouraged. Katie and I had a really good pool day earlier on during this visit and can attest to the fact that the water slide is very family friendly. Thrill level, medium. Definitely not as intimidating as things at Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon.
It is like the most perfect little water slide.
There's also a pool bar here, goes by Uzima Springs Watering Hole. Serves both alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, but only drinks. No snacks or food items available. Unless you count slushies. I goofed, guys. There's actually two hot tubs, because right here they have this labeled as a spa, and that's where the hot tub is on that side. The other one is over here. So I think that one's closed as well for the time being, but let me check before I say definitively. It may be that one is open when the other is closed and vice versa, except for exceptionally busy times of the year. Ah, son of a gun, this one is open. Okay, so I guess I know what I'm doing later then. There's also a little splash pad back here, so if you have little ones, they don't have to wade into the deep water with the adults. They can hang out here and have fun in the shallow water as kids. Just inside and adjacent the pool area is Simba's Cubhouse, and it's the equivalent of a daycare facility for Disney, so I'm not gonna go in there and see what it's all about because I feel like that would be kind of creepy. But I also feel like it's fairly self-explanatory. And right next door to Simba's Cubhouse, you'll find the guest laundry facility. Now, funny thing about this, you can see here that it's $3 per load. That's washer and dryer both, but there's no like coin slot or anywhere to put a credit card. So I think you just have to touch your magic band here on any of the machines to like link a payment method of some kind, and that's the only form of payment that I guess it'll accept. I guess maybe you could try doing like Apple Pay or something, but this is your touch sensor. And like I say, no coin slot, no anything else. So if you don't have a digital form of payment, you might be out of luck. Also adjacent to the pool area is Pumbaa's Fun and Games Arcade. It is exactly what you'd expect it to be from the title. It has been the full 2 years since I was last in an arcade without a mask on, so I feel a little weird right now. It's a good weird though, it's not a bad weird. Ow! You made it through the camera. As we close the loop around the pool, we'll find our way to the last food option at Jambo House, the Mara Quick Service Restaurant. The Mara is a quick service restaurant, which means you're gonna see a lot of the Disney staples like Mickey waffles for breakfast, sausage, bacon as a side, French fries and chicken sandwiches or chicken tenders for lunch. But because it's a deluxe resort, you also have a couple unique quick service options, like the Marrakesh falafel platter. During breakfast, they also serve a French toast bread pudding that is basically to die for, and a bacon and Gruyere quiche, which I thought was pretty good. Just be aware that because the Mara is the only restaurant on property that you can mobile order from, and one of the only restaurants that you don't need a reservation for at breakfast time, it can get a little bit busy pretty quickly. So plan ahead. We are back inside and heading upstairs now to our Savanna View room to give you guys a tour of that place. I know you've been waiting. Then we'll go ahead, call it a day. You may be able to see that the top 2 floors here are Disney Vacation Club rooms only, and for the top floor, the Kilimanjaro Club, you actually need to buzz in with your room key in order to make the elevator obey your command. Room 3510, Zebra Trail. Welcome home. Welcome everyone to our Savanna View room at Jambo House, Animal Kingdom Lodge. How I have waited to say those words. Let's take a tour. Safety first. No visitors, please. So as we first make our way into the room, you'll notice that we've got kind of an African pattern on everything, not just the sliding door. It is a barn door here that separates the bathroom from the rest of the space. But there's also a body length mirror here. So from head to toe, You can get yourself dressed in the morning while somebody else is in the bathroom, occupying that space. Rounding the corner, you'll notice a touch of African influence on all of the carvings. So that's pretty cool. You also have a running Lion King theme in here, which is another reason why Katie loves this resort. It's very Lion King heavy. So this is our Hakuna Matata wall art. Here next to the sink, we have our usual makeup mirror. And when I say sink, I should really be saying sinks, because there are 2 of them, which is another thing we really like about the deluxe resorts in particular, the fact that we always have at least 2 sinks to work with. They gave us the standard assortment of Disney H2O Plus amenities, and a selection of fresh towelettes for hand washing and makeup. Dropping beneath the sink for a second here, the hairdryer came with the room, it is not ours. Below that, this is ours, all stuff that we brought. You have this small little space here, a little cubby dug out so that you can tuck some things like toiletries and all of that in under the sink and out of the way. Very, very helpful if you've got more than 2 people staying in a room. Extra towels, tissues, and toilet paper flowing down onto a high efficiency toilet. You knew I was gonna do it. You wanna take a peek inside the shower? We've been declaring this a zebra pattern. Otherwise, it's not that unique or interesting as patterns go. But you know what is unique and interesting? A waterfall shower head. Excellent water pressure in the shower as well. You also have your laundry line, which you can connect to the other side of the shower. And they give you your usual assortment of H2O Plus body wash and shampoos. But am I insane? Or did they redesign the bottles? Making our way back into the main space, you have this very tall closet. On this side, you have hanging space for suits or taller garments. You have your standard extra pillow and blanket. On the other side, you have a top rack where we've chosen to put shoes and belts. You have a mid rack where we've chosen to store our park bags. This is a steamer which came with the room. We had no idea what it was until we pulled it forward and actually read into it a little bit, but that was part of what we got in this accommodation. We have our usual safe, and we have a little bit more rack space for smaller hanging items. A little bit more Lion King influence as we make our way further into the room. We've got our ice bucket, some extra cups, of which we've used a couple. These we actually picked up at the RunDisney Expo, so you can check that vlog out to see what they are and why they matter. Back here we have the Circle of Life sunset that kicks off the Lion King animated film. And we have our Disney Keurig, without which we would be utterly lost. There's also a light switch down here, so you don't have to make your coffee in the dark. In the drawer underneath the coffee counter, you will find all of your Joffrey's coffee essentials. You will also find this bag of Doritos Cool Ranch, which did not come with the room. We also brought that. Last but not least, drop down to ground level, and you have yourself a relatively decent sized mini fridge.
So around the corner, when you reach the beds on this wall here, is a piece of art that kind of looks like a wall artifact. And when you first glance at it, it's like, oh cool, that looks like something that could be in Africa. And then you look at it more and you realize it's the Lion King. Because there is Rafiki holding a Simba. And there's Zazu. And then down here is Timon, sorry, and Pumbaa. And then the 3 hyenas. The thermostat is directly underneath the Lion King wall art, set to a comfortable 72. And over here is the switch that controls the ceiling lights, but only the ceiling lights. More on that later. Moving into the living space of the room, you can see we have 2 queen-size beds, which is our norm. We rarely get a king at Disney because they're harder rooms to book. But there's still plenty of space in here, even with the extra bed we don't need. We have the 2 beds, we have that small little table nook over there. Then of course we have the TV and the dresser as we get further to the other side of the room. Like the rest of the room, you'll see this dresser does have kind of an African influence in terms of its aesthetic. Each of these drawers can hold a fair amount of clothing. I'm not going to open the other ones because some of the clothing that's in there is not clean. This is actually unique and especially cool about the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Disney provides you with a conservation flip book. Lots of pictures to look at and a lot of information on how the Walt Disney Company has mobilized over the years to help with the conservation efforts. Conservation is a big theme here at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, so this is very much in keeping with the mission, but it's also a fun little picture book for families who come here with kids. On the dresser itself, you'll see we have 2 AC outlets and 2 USB outlets on each side. So we've been faithfully charging our camera equipment since the moment we walked in. As is kind of the norm with Disney, USBs are plentiful in this room. We counted 10 overall, so those 4 sitting on the dresser are not the only ones you have. There's also 2 USBs and 2 AC outlets in the center stand between the 2 beds. And of course you have your phone and your TV remote, as well as your guide to the magic. The Simba drawer, as we've come to call it, has enough storage space for all your bedtime essentials. And there's a small storage space just underneath that nightstand where you can shove things like lounge flies and park bags. Talking of storage, you have your usual wealth of under bed space. The beds themselves also have an amazing African headboard, which looks very iconic. And both sides of both beds also have these pop-out reading lamps built into the headboard itself. So before you go to sleep, you can pop this out, do a little bit of light reading.
So this series of switches in between the 2 beds is basically your master lighting. You have the up lights, which are actually kind of inside behind the headboard, the sconces, which are these pattern lights in between the beds, and the ceiling, which is the main light in the center of the room. And then of course, whatever lights are on, if you're sitting here in bed, you can reach over and hit goodnight, and all the lights across the room will turn off. Good night.
As for the beds themselves, seem comfortable enough. Firmness rating on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the softest, 10 being the firmest, where would you put the bed?
I think it's like a 7, and that's pretty much where we like to live.
Yeah.
More on the firm side.
Over here at the breakfast nook, we have our Walt Disney World Resort pamphlet on safety and security while you're staying here, as well as a breakdown of everything that's been cleaned to ready your room for your arrival. No USB or AC outlets on this particular wall, but you do have a switch to turn on a light and an additional mirror, which is not going to help you get dressed, but might help you do your makeup. There is, however, 1 available AC outlet underneath the table. It's a little bit hard to get to. You can open up the second by unplugging the light. So if you need to, you could turn the breakfast nook into an editing or remote work nook. And I believe Katie has found some hidden Mickeys in our curtains. Ah, there he is. But that's not why Katie came over to the window, now is it? Katie wants to show you guys the Savannah. Woo! Let's open up this old school lock.
Come see my friends.
You have a giraffe friend.
I have a giraffe. I have a kudu. This kudu likes this corner a lot.
This is actually the first time we've seen the giraffe get this close.
Yeah, this is definitely the closest the giraffe is. Booking his way through. He came all the way from over there. So obviously this is a huge perk of staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge. If you request a Savanna View room, you get not only a pretty landscaped Savannah, but also the benefit of whatever animal decides to grace you with its presence.
Yeah, and it's not consistent either.
No, I was just gonna say, every time I've looked out this window, it's been different. Cool and I'm so enjoyable.
Every once in a while you'll see the cast members come around to
survey the land.
They're also tend to the animals.
In charge of picking up the poopy piles.
So there you have it, guys. That is the Animal Kingdom Lodge, specifically Jambo House. Now, Kidani Village is a whole other thing. We've yet to stay there, but we're gonna be heading there very shortly for a Sanaa dinner. So if you've got Sanaa booked, you can always mosey over to Kidani Village as a guest, and you don't have to stay there, you can just hang out. This stay, we actually had to pay full freight for because it's happening during a marathon weekend at RunDisney. So all prices have been jacked up. Disney Vacation Club points were basically useless. And I would still say we got our money's worth out of the room. Animal Kingdom Lodge, everyone. If you can stay here, it is an expensive stay because it's a deluxe resort, but if you can make it work, it is well worth the stay. And I would say it's well worth the upgrade to the Savanna View room as well, because that is a huge part of the experience.
You're only gonna do it once, you might as well get the Savannah room.
So thank you guys for joining us. We hope this tour was helpful. And as always, I'm Tim.
I'm Katie.
And every day
is a new adventure.
Oh no, the camera is way over there. Why did I do this? I thought it would be cute.
Bye.